All right, boys and girls, we are going to be doing some workbook pages together. We're going to be doing a question or two on each workbook page because I want to make sure that you're understanding and answering your questions correctly. So we're going to start with math page 293, and we're going to be completing question 1 together. Okay? I hope that you have watched my math video on mixed numbers. If you have not, then I would suggest stopping this video and going and watching it because I have explained what mixed numbers are and how to see them. So question 1 says to mark the circle under the correct mixed number. We know that a mixed number is a mix between a whole number and a fraction. So we're looking to see which picture is going to be shown in one of these three mixed numbers. So right here, how many whole circles do we have? We have 3 whole circles. So I'm going to go ahead and cross them out. 1, 2, 3 whole circles. So let's look at our answers so far. Does this have a whole number that's a 3? No, it doesn't. So we already know that this is not going to be our answer. Okay, so now we're down to this mixed number or this mixed number. Now, we know that our whole number is 3, but we now have a fraction. What fraction is represented in this circle? 1 out of 4. So we're looking for a 4 on the bottom. Okay, they both have 4 on the bottom, but only 1 is shaded in. So 1 out of 4. This is the correct answer. 3 1/4. Okay, let's go ahead and complete this problem together as well. So we're looking at how many whole numbers do we have, okay, or how many whole pizzas do we have? That's going to be our whole number. And then what is our fraction? That'll be the fraction. That's the mix that we're looking for. So let's start with how many whole circles? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's look here at our answer so far. 3 whole number, our whole number is 3. Uh-oh, this one's not. So we already know he's not going to be our answer. We can cross it out. So now we're looking at our fraction. This circle right here is broken up into parts. We know that a fraction is a part of a whole. Okay, so the bottom number in the fraction is going to be how many parts are in the circle. There are 3 parts in the circle. So the bottom number or the denominator is going to be a 3. Oh, they're both 3. Okay. How many pieces are shaded in? 1, 2. 2 out of 3 are shaded in. This says 1 out of 3, and this one says 2 out of 3. So this middle is our answer. Okay, very good. Now we're going to go to page 294, and we're going to complete question 3 together. So I'm going to flip my paper over. I'm going to work on question 3. It's down here at the bottom. This is a word problem, okay? So we're going to read it together first, and then we'll go back and read it again, but we're going to cross out some information that's not helpful and circle some information that is helpful. So let's read. This morning, there were some tents set up at the campground. In the afternoon, 17 more tents were set up. Now, there are 47 tents set up. How many tents were at the campground in the morning? Okay, so let's go ahead and read that again, and we're going to see what's important to the problem and what is not. Okay, so this morning, there were some tents set up at the campground. What's important about that sentence? Anything important about it? Okay, I would say that probably the some tents, we don't know how many tents were set up, but we're probably going to need to figure that out, right? There were some tents set up in the campground, okay? But this is probably not important. Okay, there were some tents set up. Some tents. In the afternoon, 17 more tents were set up. Okay, so on top of the tents that are already there, we've added 17 more. So we're going to circle 17 more. That's important too. We've added 17 more to some tents. Now all together, there are 47 tents set up. How many tents were at the campground in the morning? So now our total amount of tents is 47 tents. Okay? So our total amount is 47 tents, and we know that we added 17 to some number. We don't know how many tents were there at the beginning. So what we're trying to figure out is how many tents were at the campground in the morning at the beginning. What's the sum tents? So we've got 47 tents. What we're trying to find, boys and girls, is the difference between 47 and 17. How many tents were already there? And if we add 17 to this number, the sum tents, it would get us to 47. So we're going to have to be doing some subtraction. So we're going to start with 47 because that's our total amount of tents that were there. And we know that we're going to subtract because we need to find the difference between 47 and some tents. Okay? So 47 minus 17 is going to tell us how many tents were there at the beginning, the sum tents, and we added 17 to it to get to 47. So 47 minus 17. 7 minus 7 is 0. Oops. And 4 minus 1 is 3. There's my answer. 30. And it says to label, so that means we're going to write tents. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about 30 cookies or 30 belly buttons. We're talking about tents. So we're going to label the tents. So if I was going to read this again, this is how it would be. This morning, there were 30 tents set up at the campground. In the afternoon, 17 more tents were set up. So 30 plus 17. Now there are 47 tents set up. How many tents were at the campground in the morning? So let's go ahead and make sure that's good math. So we said that this number, the sum tents, would be 30. So let's make sure that works. 30 plus 17. 0 plus 7 is 7. 3 plus 1 is 4. There's our number, 47. 30 tents plus 17 more is 47 tents altogether. So the difference was 30 tents. Very good. Now we're going to move to page 295, and we're going to do question 6. Okay? 295, and we're going to do question 6 right here at the bottom. All right. Question 6 here at the bottom tells us to write 10 more than each number. Now, if you have not done so, please watch my plus 10, plus 100, plus 1,000, plus 10,000 video so that you can see how I explained how we're going to do this. So we're going to write 10 more. Go ahead and box that for me. 10 more than each number. So what we're going to focus on is the tens place in each one of these numbers. Let's go through and underline the tens place in each number. So 378, my tens place is the 7. 635, my tens place is the 3. And 1,249, my tens place is the 4. Now, in the video, I explained that when we're adding 10, we're going to the tens place, and we're just adding one more to that tens place. We're counting by ones. So instead of 378, I'm going to write 300. I'm going to add 1 to that 7, so now it's 88. The 3 and the 8 on either side, they don't change because they're not in the tens place. Only the tens place changes. 635, my 6 doesn't change. But my tens place number goes up by 1. 4, and then 5. My answer is 645. I'm adding 10. Now this is the big number, but it's still the same idea. My 1 doesn't change because it's in the thousands place. My 2 doesn't change because it's in the hundreds place. But my 4 changes because it's in the tens place. So my 4 goes up by 1. Now it's a 5. And my 9 doesn't change. So if I want to add 10 to 1,249, it would be 1,259. Now, we're going to move to page 297. 297. And we're going to do, I believe, 2 problems on this page. Page 297. Can you see that? All right. Page 297, we're doing question 1, and then we will do question 4. So question 1 says to write 10,000 more than each number. We just kind of did that, didn't we? But we added 10 to each number. This time, we're adding 10,000. But we know that we don't have to write plus 10,000 to each one of these numbers because we know the easier way to complete this problem. Again, if you have not watched the plus 10, plus 100, plus 1,000, or plus 10,000 video that I made you, please stop and go watch that video so that we can have a better understanding of how to do this before we begin. But we're putting those rules into practice. So just like we did with the tens place, we're not dealing with the tens place anymore. We're dealing with the 10,000s place. Okay, the 10,000s place. So let's go ahead and put a square around 10,000 because it's wanting us to do 10,000 more. And now we need to find the number that is in the 10,000s place in each one of those large numbers. Okay, so let's go here. We've got our ones place, tens place, 100s place, 1,000s place, and now we're at our 10,000s place. So the 2 is in the 10,000s place. That's the number that's going to change. Nothing else is going to change in that number. Okay? In this number over here, the 8 is in the ones place. This 9 is in the tens place. This 0 is in the hundreds place. The 8 right here is in the 1,000s place. But the 7 is in the 10,000s place. He's going to change, but nothing else is going to change in that number. So we know that when we're adding, we're getting bigger. Okay, so this 2 is just going to go up 1 more. So instead of a 2 starting this number, it's going to be 3. And then everything else stays the same. So 33,671. And here, it would be 88,098. Okay, do you see how these front numbers are the only numbers that changed? Very good. Now let's move on to question 4. We're going to add and subtract. I'm not going to draw the lines just because my marker is a little bit thicker and I don't want to mess up the numbers, but I am going to go ahead and circle the signs because that will help us know what we're doing. So this first one, we're adding, and then the next one, we're going to be subtracting. So pay attention to those signs so that you know what you're doing. Now, if I'm moving too fast for you, you can always pause the video. I don't want to feel like I'm moving too fast and you can't keep up. So please know that you can pause the video whenever you need to and then push play whenever you're ready to come back in, okay? So let's do some review for addition and subtraction. Here we go. Start in the ones place. 3 plus 9 is 12. So we're going to put our 2 here, carry our 1. 6 plus 9 is 15, plus 1 more is 16. So drop your 6, carry your 1. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 more is 10. Drop your 0, carry your 1. 7 plus 2 is 9, plus 1 is 10. Drop your 0, carry your 1. And then 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 1 is 5. That's a big number. But you know what? It has more than 3 digits in it, so we need to add our comma. We're going to start from the back. 1, 2, 3, comma, 50,062 should be your answer. Okay? Now we're going to subtract. 2 minus 7. Oh dear, I can't do that. So I'm going to go to my neighbor up above. 2's neighbor is 4. 4 turns into 3, and 2 turns into 12. 12 minus 7 is 5. 3 minus 8. Oh dear, I can't do that. So we're going to go to our neighbor. 1 turns into what? So then it turns, we've got 10, right? 10 minus 2 equals 8. And then we've got 2. Okay? 2,855. All right. The last problem that we're going to be working on is page 298. Let's see here. All right. 298 and question 3. Dad ate 5½ pancakes for breakfast. Marco ate 5 1/3 pancakes. Who ate the most pancakes? Okay, well, let's go ahead and draw a picture. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a picture here just so you can see it better, but you can go ahead and draw your picture here so that you don't have to take up this space here. So Dad, first I'm going to make 2 different pictures. Okay, 2 different areas. So we've got Dad and Marco. Now, we both know that they both ate 5 whole pancakes, right? Because 5 is our whole number. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And Dad ate all 5 of those. Yum, yum, yum. Marco also ate 5. So far, is there anybody that has eaten more? No, they've both eaten 5 whole pancakes. But Dad ate 5½ pancakes. So he had another pancake, but it was cut in half, right? And he only ate 1/2 of it. Okay? Marco ate 1/3. So he ate another part of a pancake, but it was broken up into thirds, 3 sections, and he only ate 1 of those 3 sections. So who left more of the pancake? Marco left more of the pancake left over. That means that Dad ate more. So our answer would be Dad. Very good. Thank you for working on those problems with me. Very good job, boys and girls.